Are you in the wrong line of work? Chances are, if you're watching this, you're starting to doubt whether the work you're doing is really right for you. So I want to share with you 5 ways to tell that you're in the wrong line of work. I spent years trying to convince myself that the work I was doing was right for me. I even went so far as to try to convince myself that I would never find work that was right for me. Thankfully, I got through that and I found work that I really loved doing. See, in order for you to find work that is really right for you, the first thing you need to do is make a decision about whether the work you're doing now is wrong for you or not. So I want to help you do that. Way number 1 is that if you feel drained by the work. Now, drained and tired are 2 different things. See, being tired is an appropriate human response to effort. So if you ran a marathon, it makes sense that you'd be tired after that. But being drained is like if after a regular 8-hour workday of mostly sitting at a computer or sitting in meetings, if you feel drained by that, you feel exhausted by that afterwards, that's a good sign that you're trying to be someone you're not most of the time in the day, and you're repressing parts of yourself. So the first sign, if you're doing work that is wrong for you, is if you feel drained after a regular day at work. Okay? When you do work you love, it actually gives you energy. It makes you more alive, not dead. Okay? So, second way to tell is when people recognize you for a job well done. Maybe you get a reward or a raise, or you get stood up on stage and everyone's clapping for you, and you get complimented, that it doesn't feel good. So that's a really good sign that the work you're doing is not something you personally value. If everyone else is telling you how valuable your work is, but you don't actually value it, and you never feel really satisfied by the work you've done, that's a good sign that the work you're doing doesn't match who you really are. When you do work you really love, and you do a good job, and people recognize you for that, you feel seen. You feel seen for being your authentic and best self. And so if you're not experiencing that at work, when you're working hard, doing a good job, that's a good sign that you're in the wrong line of work. All right. Reason number 4, way number 4, is that if the only reason you're doing the work is because of some kind of external reason, whether it be money, prestige, approval, security, right? If all the reasons you're doing the work are because of something that's kind of outside of you, or is fear-based, like being afraid of other people's opinion or judgments of you, that's also a good sign that you're not doing work that's really meant for you. So if you brainstorm a whole list of reasons why you're doing the work you're doing, and all of those or most of those fall into the category of like something external, that's a red flag. And then number 5 is that when you think about yourself at the end of life, and you're looking back on the legacy that you've created or the contribution that you've made to the world based on the work you're doing now, if you don't feel proud of that, that's a really good sign that you're not doing work you're meant to do. And you don't even have to go that far. Think about if you were to keep doing what you're doing for the next 10 years, how does that feel? If your answer to that is not something around being proud or fulfilled or happy about the contribution, I would take a look at that and really question whether you're in the right line of work. Now, chances are that I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. That you know in your gut you're in the wrong line of work. But hopefully, now that you've heard these 5 ways of telling, that you can start to acknowledge the truth that you really know inside of you. And the good news is that once you decide that the work you're doing is not right for you, now you can stop questioning it. You can stop wondering and going back and forth and doubting yourself and trying to fit yourself into a box and all of that. You can now stop devoting energy to that and start devoting energy to strategizing what you're going to do about it. So I hope this helps. My name is Eddie, and if you're struggling with trying to figure out how to decide what to do about your situation, or if you need help figuring out what the work is that you really do love to do, this is exactly the kind of work I do with clients. If you liked this video, please leave a comment, click like, subscribe to my channel. It helps me know that I'm on the right track with my message and that I'm providing value to the world. Thank you so much for watching. Be well.